This video will continue to go over the sales class example that we've been working out in class. What we'll do is continue working with it. We have initially had a simple example that only had two classes. It had a cash register that used a sales class. We're going to expand on this example by adding more relevant nouns. From the homework, we said that we could, not from the homework, from the class discussion last week, we concluded that we could have the main, which is the cash register, that has a main method. We were going to continue using the sales class, has an item list, and a ring up item method, and then we also had a product list. Normally we want, let me make sure we put them together. Let's remove this ring up item for now. We also had a product list, and this is a list that we will search to retrieve a product object. And then we also had that ring up item. And we know that cash register uses the sales object. We also have a product class or object. In this case, is an object. And we made it simple. It had a price and a category, ID. Nope, we changed our mind with that one too. Let me erase this, apologize. We had a product ID, the price, and the product name. And sales was going to use a collection of products. Finally, we were gonna also have a receipt object that prints items list. And that's the UML diagram for the example that we have. let's go ahead and write the code for this. We create this folder. We go ahead and close all of these, and then we create a Python file. We name it product class product. We create an initializer method. And for anyone who wants to, I will say that I am changing this class a little bit from the example we went over last week, mainly to assist students to complete the upcoming homework. Anybody who wants to create an instance of this class or to use this class in memory has to provide us a product ID, a price, and a product name. Maybe name and price. We create the data attributes self.prodID equals prodID, another data attribute self.name equals name, self.price equals price, and we save this class. Now we create another class, sales, class sales. It's going to have a constructor. And in this constructor, we are going to create a products dictionary. And then we'll create a list, we'll add product objects to the dictionary. So a product, we said, needs a product ID, a name, and a price. So widgets and a price. We add it to the dictionary. Make sure we let me rename to lowercase, and also this one, rename it to lowercase. We import from product file, import product class. And now we can say prod_id. Let's see. File is okay. We add one. We add another product. We add to list. We need to make sure we do equals p, and then p.prodID equals p. What are we doing here? We create an instance. Create instance of product. In this line we add instance of product to dictionary with key equals 1. The same here and the same here with key equals 2, of course. We go and add one final one, p equals product of 3 of mega widgets of price $3.99, and we also add it to the dictionary. It's important to notice that we can reuse P. P right now points to the first product we created and we add it to the dictionary. This P points to a different point in memory, we add it to a dictionary, and this P points yet to another different point in dictionary. The Python interpreter takes care of that for us. We do not have to worry about that. And then we have one more method, ring up item, that takes in a product and we add it to an item list. We need to make sure we defined the item list in the initializer method. Self dot, and we make it a list, or should we, we'll do this, we'll make it a dictionary. I don't remember if I used a dictionary or a list for the example. We'll use a list. And this is the sales class. We proceed to add one more class. And this is the receipt class. This receipt class needs to use class receipt. We will have a print method that has item list. Thinking in another language. Dev print receipt. It takes an item list. And then we print the receipt for item and item list. We need a subtotal. We need a tax rate. Subtotal equals item dot price plus equals. We print the description. I think it's name, and then we print the price. Well, the only problem is we have to reference it by the name we've given it right now, name, and then item dot price. Then we need a tax total, and that's tax times subtotal. We print the subtotal. Print the tax total, And finally we print the total. I think in the class assignment I did this. Self.text equals 0.0825, and we didn't do a local. We didn't use a local variable. So here we have to make sure we reference the class attribute. Self.text. Finally, we create the cash register. If I can type, okay, class cash register. We need to make sure that we use product, so from product import class product, and from sales import class sales. Now we can use them. So we create a main method, and keep going equals y, and then while keep going equals y, and now we are going to make sure that we create an instance of sales s equals sales, and then we need a product. Well, we need a product product key, we capture input from the user, make sure that it's an integer, enter product key. Then we need to search the product, and we can do that by sales.products, and we can use get, and we send it the product key. So that's going to return us an instance of a product, and when we get that instance of a product, then we can ring up the item. We send product, and we prompt the user if they want to keep going. And then we create a receipt object after the loop, and we do receipt dot print receipt, and we send it the sales dot item list. We need to make sure that we can access receipt. We do from receipt import receipt. And Okay, we now need to create an instance of cash register. And we call the main method. Save it. And there's our receipt. And this was a simple example that uses multiple classes. I know there's a lot going on here. Briefly, let me tell you what's going to help you with your homework. Of course, the main class will help you. You need to know how to import objects that you're going to need to instantiate in the main class. Let me go back to sales. So this is what's going to help you creating this dictionary. In the homework, I ask you students to do this. So this is how you would create a dictionary and add items to it. Notice that we didn't, once we created sales, we didn't have to do anything else for the dictionary to be created. Why? This initializer method runs when this statement runs. And that's what populates the list. And we can go back here. So we create a sales object and we have a loop. We'll keep going. We prompt the user for a product key, and then we go to the sales class products, meaning we search this product list. We send it a key and it returns an object, a product for us, or a product for us, and then we send that product to the ring up item method. And the ring up method is simply a list that appends the product. We're not trying to make anything complicated here. We're just trying to understand how classes work. And this keeps on going while the user enters yes. Once the user finishes, then we create an instance of receipt, and then we call the print receipt method, and we send the item list that belongs to sales, this item list that we've been populating with ring up item products, and we call the print receipt method of the receipt class, and then we print the receipt. And this is the conclusion of this video. Again, if you have any questions, please post them to the forums, and I will be glad to assist students.